Hi, I'm Eric Landblom. In this week's presentation, I want to tell you about a story of where one of my biggest failures became one of my greatest learning points. You see, back in 2000, 21 years ago, I was accepted into the officer candidate school for the United States Marine Corps. See, prior to that, I was an enlisted Marine doing some infantry stuff with boat raids and things like that. During that time, I was able to get my college degree, and also I was able to pick myself up from my bootstraps and overcoming a bad situation where I showed some leadership, I showed some growth, and I showed a lot of confidence and trust in those that believed that I should be an officer. So I was like, great, I'm going to go over to this school, be one of the few people that has enlisted experience who's actually been in the Marine Corps with 300 other people who may or may have not been in the Marine Corps whatsoever. And because I did so well and I was highly sought after, that people are going to look to me to be the leader. Well, for a 3-month course, let's just say my first month, which is phase 1, I did not do so well. In fact, I did pretty terrible because my ego. Within my ego, I had all those thoughts. I know what I'm doing. I've been there, I've done that. I've been on the boat, I've been overseas. I've been in foreign countries doing operations, and these guys are just fresh out of college. And I thought I was better than everyone, and everyone should listen to me. Boy, was I wrong. I was so wrong. See, during this officer candidates course, we have what's called peer evaluations. So if you take this unit, this organization of 300 students, and it's broken into 6 platoons, 5 platoons of men, 1 platoon of women. Within my platoon, I was rated in the bottom 3 of all potential leaders within my organization. Out of 60 people, I was rated in the bottom 3. The guy who's been there, done that, knows everything. Yeah, they all said it in their evaluations. Yeah, he knows the stuff. Yeah, he's pretty good for an enlisted Marine. Probably should stay enlisted, but he has no leadership. The reason why is because I kept putting myself above the organization. When I had to sit down with the instructors of why I was in the bottom 3 of what my peers thought of me, it kind of opened my eyes. Wow, am I being a jerk? I did not realize that that's how they saw me. I didn't realize that I was being abrasive and not supportive. So taking those ugly pieces of information about how much of a jerk I was, I evaluated my situation. It was a matter of having that sit down and really reflect on what I'm doing wrong and what do I need to do better. So during officer candidate school, we have these 24 hours where we get, from Saturday afternoon to Sunday afternoon, where we get to go leave base, go go out in town, get a real meal. And, it's just a way for us to keep our composure, our bearing about being a good, with using good etiquette, being a good role model of what, we're supposed to be as Marine Corps officers out in town. So one night prior, I was walking up and down the squad bay, and I was like, hey, look, I think I, screwed up here, guys, and I'd like to apologize to people by, buying them a drink at this bar and grill, and then I'll explain what I was trying to do. Some of them took me up on it. So we met that night. We sat at the table, and I was like, hey, order your drinks. I'm buying. Just ask that you listen to what I have to say. And a lot of them were like, okay, we get it. All I wanted to do was say, be the best. One of the things that Officer Candidate School teaches about leadership is self-reliance, that we can take care of ourselves, and that's what I wanted to do. But because of my actions of going through the motions the vision wasn't given. I was too busy going through the actions and not sharing the vision. So with that sit down that evening, I was able to say, tell them, this is my vision. This is what I was ultimately wanting to do. I know these drill instructors from my previous years. One of the instructors was my platoon sergeant. And it wasn't that I had, I was special or anything. It was, he helped me understand how badly I was failing. So I was like, oh yeah. So I wanted to express to them my remorse, my apologies, and share them the vision first, and then go into the motion of action. See, that's where I think if I would have known how to share vision, how to get them to buy into it, and help them understand what it really means. But also, you got to let them suffer too. You got to let, as much as I, as a peer and wanting to be their leader, wanted to protect them from the instructors, they wouldn't have figured or understand or appreciate what I was doing. So fast forward another week. About another 30 people showed up to another night that I invited, that I said I was buying a drink for everyone if they just sit and listen and talk this out. So as the vision was shared with more people within the platoon, there was more buy-in. And then we started to really cohese as a unit. And with that, people were able to give me what their points of view was, and they were able to tell me how they think they have a solution to a problem that wasn't really in our face. That I was going back to the old, this is how we do it in the Marine Corps, where they had something fresh and new that could have taken us light years beyond some obstacles in front of us. So most important thing I learned from that portion is, after I shared the vision, was getting their buy-in. Now I have their buy-in. And now we're on week 6. We've lost probably a third of our platoon to attrition because of failed leadership. I was almost one of them. Fortunately for me, the instructors saw what was going on. They saw what I was doing. They saw that I changed my approach, that I was getting them to trust me, to buy into my vision, and to be able to participate and contribute to that vision. So by halfway point, when the new set of instructors set up what's called the student leadership, I was picked. And usually when they pick you to be a student leader, it means they're looking for you to screw up so they can kick you out. But when I got called in the office, I remember the gunnery sergeant saying, all right, you overcome your challenges, you've made your amends, show the rest how it's done. I was like, okay. He goes, you were 6 weeks too early with your approach. Now you've won them over. Now implement your plan. Show them how you as students can be self-reliant and be able to progress and hit all the training standards that are required by the Marine Corps without input from the instructors. Boy, that was a proud moment. I walked out, kept my head high, walked to my leadership team that was selected for me, and asked them if they would meet me in the back of the squad bay. We went to the squad bay and I told them, you guys are my leadership team. We've just been selected to take over the leadership of this platoon. So we gathered other people that have gone through this, that survived and not gone through attrition for their roles in the earlier days, and ask them questions. Hey, what was it that you were struggling with? If you could do it again, what would you do better? What is it that we're seeing was the blind side that we're not seeing? And when those guys gave their buy-in, then they were like the first follower rules. If you don't know what first follower rules are, that is, your first follower is your second leader. And what does that mean? Say there's great music out there, and it just makes you want to dance. And you just want to go out there and dance, and you don't care. So you go out there and you dance. Next thing you know, you're out there, the music's great, you're dancing by yourself, but you're feeling a little foolish. Then you got that buddy, that wingman. He comes out there, and he starts dancing too. He says, this is cool, so hey, this guy's got their idea. I like his idea, let's go with it. And next thing you know, more people and more people and more people start contributing to it. And that's what the first follower rules are. Is that first follower is your second leader, and they're telling the population that I have confidence in this guy whose vision is to dance. So let's go back to the Marine Corps and the officer candidate school. when we were put in role, be in charge, trying not to repeat the mistakes that were made the first 4 weeks in the course. It was important to have those people say, yes, we believe in what you're saying because it contributes to the vision. But the best thing they said to me is like, Eric, you shared the vision with us. Formally share the vision with the rest of them. And so that's what we did. We stood there as a leadership team. We said, this is our vision, to be self-reliant students, to run our own organization and hit all the Marine Corps standards to be successful. Not only successful, but be the best platoon within the organization. With that buy-in, we were able to run in a more concise, effective way. All those harsh single sentence word or sentence statements that usually come off as commands are usually because they're short and concise because you don't have time to explain. By sharing them the vision and sharing them the approach and what we're going to do, it wasn't to be demeaning or harmful to people. It was, we have less than 3 seconds to be in action. I'm going to give it to you in 3 words. People bought into it. When our time to step down to let somebody else step up and be in that role to lead as a student, we were the first followers, which was the second leaders. That allowed us to continue the legacy of our organization because it wasn't about what I created. It was about what we created. And our organization became the best platoon. We finished the honor platoon within that officer candidate course. And I like to think that I had something to do with it, but it was getting everyone to agree that this is our vision. You know, just because I said it doesn't mean it was my vision. Everyone else wanted it. Nobody wanted to be told by the gunnery sergeants how to do this. You know, that's what you do when you go through a enlisted boot camp. They have somebody think for you, tell you how to do it, and go do it. Where at officer candidate school, they want you to think for yourselves. They want you to be self-reliant. They want you to be able to create your own legacy. And we did. We did a phenomenal job. And I'm happy to say that that was probably the best learning experience I ever had. I hope that gives you some idea what this is about, what I'm trying to share with you. I hope this gives you some idea of how I developed my leadership. At the same time, I probably lost you with all the military jargon, so please forgive me. If you have any questions, leave the message in the comments for me to answer them, to explain better how and what I was talking about, because there's times I still relive those moments and I still talk in that language. So thank you for following. Thank you for subscribing. And for you new viewers, please give us a thumbs up and also hit subscribe to let me know that this is providing value for you. I'm Eric Landblom. Thanks.